So here's an example of the difference between a strategy and a roadmap. So I'm going to use Tesla as an example here. And in particular, I'm going to use the famous blog post that Elon Musk wrote back in 2006, where he outlined Tesla's master plan. So whilst we don't have access to Tesla's actual detailed strategy and the detailed roadmaps, we can see the difference between a roadmap and a strategy in this blog post, and it's a perfect example for it. So in the blog post, Elon Musk outlines Tesla's master plan, right? And it's a 3-step master plan where he talks about building a sports car and then using that money to build an affordable car and then using that money to build an even more affordable car afterwards. Now you can look at this 3-step master plan and it looks a lot like a roadmap. In fact, you could plot this on along a timeline and turn it into a roadmap, right? Let's build a sports car, the Roadster. Let's build, the Model S, the Model X, and then let's start to build the Model 3 and the Model Y, and we drive that way, right? Now, this looks great as a roadmap. But the problem with the master plan alone and not having the rest of the blog post is it doesn't answer the questions as to why, and the details and the context and the choices behind why we're doing a sports car first and then moving, to the Model S and the X and so forth. Now, it'd be really easy to look at that roadmap and to look at things like, well, why are we starting with a sports car? And why aren't we starting with the affordable one? If our vision and our goal is always to get to the end and to build mass market electric vehicles, why aren't we starting with that? It'd be really easy to also do like a value over effort prioritization and go, well, building the more affordable car would be better in terms of value over effort than the sports car, and wanted to flip those two things on the roadmap. So this is where strategy comes in. Strategy explains the choices that you've made that have led to the roadmap looking the way it is and why we're starting with a sports car. So let's dive a bit into Tesla's strategy here. Now, in the master plan there, those 3 steps, he already alluded to one of the strategic choices that they'll make in, which was, let's build a sports car and use the money to fund the R&D in order to build a more affordable car and then an even more affordable car. One of the strategic narratives that Elon was making around Tesla was the fact that any new technology requires a lot of R&D. It's not easy to do because we haven't done it before. We haven't perfected it yet. We haven't built it into mass market. So there's going to be a high R&D cost. He knows that, right? So one of these strategic narratives is that there's going to be a high R&D cost in order to build that affordable car. Now, one way that we could do it, so a strategic choice would be, well, let's get external funding or find funding from elsewhere in order to fund building that R&D and building that electric car. Now, the choice that he decided to make here was, why don't we build a very expensive car? Why don't we tackle the top of the market? And we tackle people who we are able to charge a premium, who aren't so price sensitive, and we can get higher profit margins and we can use those profits in order to fund R&D. Another narrative that he had around all of this was the fact that any new technology tends to be put under a higher level of scrutiny. And he also knows that if we were to introduce something new into the market, it needs to be far better than its competitors. So you can't just copy your competitors, it needs to be better. So the electric vehicle can't just be a normal car that's electric, not at the beginning, not as the first electric car to come out there. It had to be wow, it had to have a wow factor in it. So it's going to require a higher level of cost and a higher level of effort in order to make that car so good and so compelling that the first electric vehicle that Tesla produces, if they were to overcome the scrutiny and were to build something that is a very highly compelling offering, it was going to cost them a lot of money. And as a result, the car was going to be very expensive. And therefore, as a result, it makes logical sense to target that high end of the market first. Now, he even jokingly says, and this is the point about the difference between a strategy and a roadmap, is that you can easily look at that 3-step plan and you might mistakenly think that Tesla thinks that there's some type of gap in the market for sports cars. They know that there isn't a need there. And this is the point of strategy. Yes, they can sell some cars there, but the point and the need that they actually have at the moment is R&D. And how do we fund R&D? So they're making a choice around doing that and starting the top of the market and moving down, and not starting mid-market or starting at the bottom and moving up or something like that. They're actually making the choice to start at the top and move down, not because they, their market research and their analysis has told them that there's a gap in the market there. No, because they need to start there in order to fund R&D in order to build more affordable cars in the future, because ultimately their goal is to get to that end state of having mass-produced cars and being one of the top electric car providers or car providers in the world. So you can see here the difference between a roadmap and a strategy is that the roadmap would have build a sports car. You would have that 3-step master plan: build a sports car, use them, build an affordable car, build an even more affordable car. But strategy explains the choices that sit behind it. It explains that we're going to start at the top of the market and move down because we want to be able to tackle the top of the market so we can charge a premium. We can use that premium in order to fund R&D. And we need to do that because any new technology is going to be very expensive to basically perfect, and we need to spend a lot of time doing R&D in order to lower costs and to basically be able to build more affordable cars into the future. And another reason why they're doing it, and another choice, is the fact that new technology gets put under a higher level of scrutiny, and they needed to build something that's going to have a compelling offering, something that was wow factor enough that it would actually compel those people to buy it over the alternatives that are in the market today. So you can see how this is a cohesive strategy. All of these choices ladder up together and they link together, and the choices explain the roadmap. So that's the difference. Strategy is going to explain the why and the context behind it, and the roadmap is going to explain basically the logical steps that you're going to take and along some type of time horizon, whether that is actual dates or not, or whether that's a now, next, later type format. There is some type of time horizon on that roadmap. So that's the difference between a roadmap and a strategy. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about product strategy, check out the product strategy course over on Product Pathways. And if you're not ready to buy the course, or if you can't afford it right now, all good. If you want to learn more about product roadmaps, check out this webinar that I ran the other month. And if you want to learn more about product strategy, you can see how I like to format my product strategy documents over here. And as always, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one.